Hello, everyone. How are you? How are you? How are you? This is the Taryn Lamp Show, season number 9, episode 3. And so we got if you watched the last show, this light fell down. So we're going to see what happens today. Cross your fingers. Let's see if it stays up there. So this is the Taryn Lamp Show, season 9, episode number 3. Thank you so much for joining me. We are here most Tuesdays sharing the journeys of everyday people with amazing stories. This is just a platform for all of us to share what we've been up to goodness, talk about our journeys, whether it's a personal obstacle, a physical obstacle, an entrepreneur journey. Goodness, we have so many stories, and I believe that everyone has a story. So that is why I created this platform, the Taryn Lamp Show, on IG Live. We are also on Apple Podcasts at the Taryn Lamp Show, and on YouTube at I Am Taryn Lamp. So make sure you are following us and liking us and subscribing on all those channels. And when we come on here, we have just a good time, but most of all, just about positivity, love. It's about fun. It's about connecting people, and it's about sharing the journeys of others. We have had people from all over the place, all over the world on here, and we've been going strong for about 4 years. So I really want to thank you for your support. Again, this is the Taryn Lamp Show, season number 9, episode number 3, and I'm going to get my guest on here, Malcolm. Malcolm. Hello. Hello. Did it work? Malcolm, yes. There you are. Hello.
Can you hear me?
I can. How are you?
Fantastic. How are you?
Good. Wow. Great seeing you again.
Yeah, no, I feel like it's been so long. It's actually been like, what, 2 years, right?
Has it been 2 years? Mm-hmm. I was wondering because it was, what, October?
2022, I believe, that I did the...
October 2022. Mm-hmm. Well, thank you so much for agreeing to be on the show. Mm-hmm. You guys, this is the Taryn Lamp Show, season number 9, episode number 3. If you're just joining me, we are here most Tuesdays. I used to do it every Tuesday, but I'm a one-woman show. We are here just celebrating the stories of others. For those who may not know, I just love hearing people's stories. I believe everyone has a journey, everyone has a story, everyone has something to give back. And if this show is about positivity, it's about love, it's about connecting others and hearing your journey. No journey is too big, no journey is too small. If you'd love to be on the show, I would love to have you. And just have a good time. Check us out on Apple Podcast. Somebody's saying hello, yes, with sir, exclamation points and a heart. Hello. Back to you. Is that what they do nowadays? I think. We're on. Okay. I gotta learn. I'll get with it. I'll get with it. We're on Apple Podcasts at the Taryn Lamp Show and on YouTube at I Am Taryn Lamp. Malcolm, so tell me. I know you from Workland and from Friendland and from TEDx Land. Mm-hmm. But tell me what you've been up to. Tell me kind of your journey. And I know you have something good cooking as well. So I want to hear all about it. So tell me what you've been up to.
Yeah, well, I mean, first and foremost, thanks for having me on the show. This is a real honor. I've never been just like asked to be on the show. So this is like really, really cool for me. And I've kind of just since the TEDx talk, I figured a lot of people resonated with the message that I was able to put out there, and I really wanted to just share my thoughts with the world in a fun and entertaining way. So I linked up with my friend Jason, and actually, full disclosure, I'm not even gonna call him my friend. He's more like my brother at this point, because we just hang out and do everything together. We finish each other's sentences. We're on the same mind length and wavelength all the time. But we connected and we formed Past 12 Productions, which is it's our multimedia brand now, and under that brand, we have a podcast called Talk to Me Nice. And I have this whole thing. It goes Talk to Me Nice, and it's just a whole lot of fun. So every guest that we have on the show, we used to do an interview style, but now we just want to have guests on, come be their authentic selves, come have fun with us, laugh with us, and create memories with us. We just want to be able to be that platform that people go to and say, these guys made me feel good about myself. These guys made my day better. These guys put a smile on my face. And we're going to change the world in any way that we possibly can. So it's been a fun journey going from just one talk to having a full blown podcast. Has been a lot of fun building it. You can see actually a year ago today we shot our first episode, so that's also
wow.
very cool. Yeah. So full year, and we're finishing season 2 up tomorrow, and then season 3 will start in the summer. So a lot of big plans in the future too.
Well, congratulations, first of all. Like, who knew today is the day? I look forward to being on it myself. And Jason, I think you might be on. So congratulations to you as well. It sounds like you and Malcolm have put something amazing together. And I think that's great. Like the whole thing of just you wanting to brighten people's day, right? Like, I think you want to have people listen and you want to brighten their day and you want to talk to them nicely. And, you know, hopefully everyone talks to you nicely back. But I think it's so cool that it just started from something that you kind of, you know, your TED Talk kind of kicked it off. That's what it's sounding like. And then you and your friend put something together. And it's so great, these platforms that are up there, because there's so much going on in the world. You need people to talk to you tonight. Talk to you nice, right? We need to talk to each other nice.
Exactly. It's exactly like you said. You go on to any form of social media, you go on to any news outlet, you even walk outside and something else is going on that might just put you in that negative mindset. Even waking up to go to work sometimes just is a struggle these days. And this podcast gives me something to look forward to and to put my own creative spin on. I know us being in we're both in corporate America, we don't have a lot of creative freedom in that space, but you doing your show here and me being able to do my podcast, it gives other people inspiration to maybe find their own type of creative outlet, whether that be music, whether that be photography, artistry, cooking, it doesn't matter. I want to see it and I want to support it all. And that's another reason for the podcast. It's a platform for all creatives to come and just show us what you got. If you want to come on the podcast and teach us how to cook, like we just shot an episode about how to cook some food, and we shot a bartending episode. We're going to shoot a surfing episode soon. Like, if you want to come on and show us what you got, the door is open. We're not going to say no.
Well, you guys are going to have a funny story with me. We'll get to that. But what inspires you? What inspires you, and what inspires, maybe if Jason's on, he can comment too. Like, what inspires you guys? You guys are creating a platform to inspire others, but what inspires you?
I think me and Jason, we go around to these different events in New Jersey, and we've been creating for about, I want to say, Jason, like 6 years now we've been doing Pastoral Productions. And the motivation factor is that the thing is there for the grabbing. Like, to get to that point that we're there in New Jersey and we're homegrown and we're home built, there's no middleman. We do everything in-house, whether that's creating our own music, creating our podcast, creating our merchandise. We do everything in-house. Just to be able to say that we did it ourselves, that's motivation enough, as well as, just like I said, just providing for other people. Like, we have the tools and the access for people to come to us and be like, hey, I really want to try this, and I see that you guys have been doing it very well. Is there anything that you guys can teach me, or can I be on and just shadow you guys? And we're there with open arms. We want to help as many people as possible, as well as being in New Jersey. There's not a lot of people that are actually willing to work with you and collaborate with you. Everybody, for some reason, wants to one-up you or do better than you, when we're just trying to promote the message that there's enough room at the table for everybody to eat. Everybody can eat at this table, you know? So we want to be the biggest and we want to be the best, but we don't want to lose track of who we are in that process.
Okay. Do you think in doing that, because I hear a lot of positivity, and I love the positivity, and I love that you're jumping out there. First of all, this is the Taryn Lamb Show, season 9, if you can believe that, guys. Episode number 3. We've been going strong for like 4 years at this. We are on Apple Podcasts at the Taryn Lamb Show, and on YouTube at I Am Taryn Lamb. Make sure you're liking, loving, subscribing, all that good stuff. Hey Jordan and hey Tyra, by the way. Let me see who else we got. Juan, I think. Am I saying that right?
Juan.
And then I'm not pronouncing with the hearts. I don't want to pronounce that wrong.
Oh, Anessa. and
Anessa,
Athena. Yeah.
Athena.
Hmm.
Yep. So, hello to everybody that's joining us. Um, what are some of the obstacles that you have faced in this journey of creating your own podcast, creating your own production company? I think that when you think about all this stuff that goes into it, and I think about all the stuff that goes into it as
Hmm.
well. What are some of the maybe some obstacles that you guys have had to jump over to kind of, yes, hearts to you too, to get here? What are some of the obstacles
As
you've had?
as you know from being on season 9, episode 3, by the way, congratulations. As you know, creating content is annoying. It's you get to that finished product and you're like, oh yeah, I did it. But that whole journey to get from start to finish is actually kind of tedious and annoying. And I think from like a hardware perspective, the hardest parts were just figuring out times to record, figuring out what you want to talk about, and just overall quality. We started off, if you watch that first episode, we started off with just 3 just grainy cameras, and then we every episode we just upgraded, we upgraded. Sometimes we had conflicts with guests, like sometimes we had issues with topics that we're talking about. Sometimes episodes didn't get recorded fully, the audio dropped. So like just tedious problems like that. But on the flip side, from a more mental standpoint, it's a little hard to stay it's a little hard to stay motivated,
Yeah.
when you don't really want to look at like, oh, the views and who's watching and who's sharing. But it is hard to stay motivated sometimes when you look at your episode that you worked so hard on and you get X amount of views,
Yes.
and you have like an expectation that, oh, this is gonna be the episode that like gets 100,000 likes and takes me to the next level. But you just gotta stay in your lane. You just gotta do what makes you happy. And at the end of the day, whoever's rocking with you is going to be whoever's rocking with you. You can't force
Right.
anybody to like your content or share your content. But those people that do, those are the ones that you want to keep around closely. You want to make sure that, you know what, I appreciate everybody that rocks with us. So everybody that rocks with me, rocks with Jason, for Talk to Me Nice, I appreciate you wholeheartedly. We're coming crazy next year. Or this coming summer. Like I'm excited for all the things that are gonna happen on season 3.
I'm excited for you guys too. And one thing, hey Stephanie, hey girl. So Stephanie's a great example.
Mm-hmm.
So let me give you Stephanie is a great example. We actually talked earlier today. But one thing I learned, so I was listening to a podcast recently, and I started listening to it this year. And the person came on and she said, "Man, I've been doing this podcast like for 11
Mm-hmm.
years." And I was like, wow, like she's been doing this for 11 years. And this is the first year that I've ever heard of her. And I thought to myself, that inspired me to keep
Yeah.
going, right? It inspired me. And then Stephanie, I saw her earlier today, and she has been someone that faithfully
Mm-hmm.
watches this show. And I say that to say one thing she told me earlier today was, and you know what, T? That one guest you had on, she still inspires me. And even if you have one viewer or 1,000 viewers or one view or 1,000 views, you are going to hit somebody and you won't even know it.
Exactly.
And I think that's the amazing part to keep going, right? Some days I think about the same things you think about, like how many people are on. And then I go back and I watch how many people viewed this afterwards or how many people listened to it. And it could be way more than we're on the exact moment. But someone will DM me or someone like Stephanie will say, and this person that she talked about today that still inspires her was probably a guest, Malcolm, a year or so, or maybe even a year or two ago.
Mm-hmm.
And all the time I get people saying, this guest inspired me. So you inspire someone, and it could be one person, it could be 1,000 people. But keeping going is going to allow you to hit that person that the
Exactly.
universe, God, however you want to look at it, has for you to hit,
Mm-hmm.
right? Whether it's 1 year, whether it's 11 years, whether it's one person, whether it's 1,000 people, the positivity is getting out there for the taking.
Exactly. You just got to keep going. Like if you one thing that I love telling myself, if you never get knocked down, you're never going to feel what it's like to get back up. So
Right.
it's it's growing pains. You're going to experience those growing pains. There's going to be times where you're just like, I want to quit, I want to give up, and I'm not here to be a motivational speaker or anything like that. I said that at the TEDx talk. I'm not here to motivate you. I'm not here to really inspire you to do anything, but I am here to let you know that I'm going through it too. We're going through this
Yeah.
together. We're in that same ship. We're trying to set sail to a new just found lands, and we're going to get there. We just have to keep going. We have to stay the course, and sometimes you might have to switch some things up. You might have to try a new style. That's okay. That's a part of growth. But you also have to understand, just like you said, there's thousands and thousands of people doing the same thing that we are doing. All you really have to do is pick up a phone now and record yourself talking, and boom, you kind of have a podcast right there. But what's what's going to separate you from the person next to you? And that's what we're trying to do. A lot of podcasts are just sitting in an office or sitting in a room, and they're not really doing anything. Our podcast, we're taking mobile. So we've shot in Chicago, we've shot in Miami, we're shooting in California, we're going to shoot in Hawaii. Everywhere that we go, we try to at least get some type of content. We shot in Texas as well. And we're not just confined to this studio right here.
So real quick, like House of Mosaic Candles, that's somebody so you guys need to connect, because Tony, yeah, you should be on the podcast, and you should share your talent.
I love candles too.
With Malcolm. She is talking about amazing creative, amazing. When I say she made me one of the best pieces I have in my home. Like,
oh yeah,
hands down. Like hands down. So, and she's super creative and super nice. So you guys need to connect, Tony and Malcolm.
Absolutely.
And she could go through her process and show you guys what she does, but amazing. Yeah, one of the best pieces I have. And it's for many reasons, because it's beautiful, but it's also like, she knows what it is. It's near and dear to my heart for a myriad of reasons. So you guys need to connect, Malcolm and Tony.
Absolutely.
I think that, but like, to your point, it's like, everybody does what we do, but not everybody does what we do. Like, everybody does it, but not everybody does it like you. Not everybody does it like me. And I think that's the cool part about it, right? Like, I think that we have to open ourselves up for all the things that can happen, that can come our way. I was, yeah, of course, Tony, no worries. You guys need to connect for sure. I was just joking. I don't know if you heard me, Malcolm, at the beginning of this show, and that light right there on the last episode fell down. So I put it up there today, and I was, I'm just like, I don't know if it's going to stay up there. And that's kind of the one thing I like about the show, because it's, like you said, authentic, right? I love anything can happen. I mean, people have came on this show and cursed on this show. They have drank on the show. They have cried on the show. They have done all sorts of things. Amazons came to the door, all sorts of other crazy things on the show. And I like the authenticity of it. And I like, the way it goes. And so I don't think when you have, we all could do it. We all do it, but we all do it differently. And I think that's the cool part.
Yeah. That's the one thing I would definitely say, especially with our podcast. I want you to come on and be your authentic self.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do anything that's going to hurt or tarnish your reputation or online persona, because I'm not trying to bring you down. I'm only trying to build you up. And if you think that you're a good person, you believe that you're a good person, then you should have no problem with being your authentic self on Talk to Me Nice. And like I said, we're just there to have fun. I might ask you some weird or crazy questions, but they're all just to get you comfortable and get you to laugh. It's nothing to kind of like throw you off your rock or anything, but it's just simple weird questions, just to let you know that I'm human, you're human, let's laugh. We all need to laugh. Sometimes why are you acting so uptight, So it's just be your authentic self, because that's the type of self that you want to present to people. I know we have our online personalities and we have to watch that, but if you believe that you're a good person, then you should have no problem being who you are,
Yeah, it's like, it's interesting because some people say, well, there's some type of saying like about being weird or something. It's like, basically like, you just, if it's the word weird or whatever word you want to call it,
Mhm.
you know, just kind of embrace it, right? Like, just kind of embrace your whatever it is, embrace your authenticity, embrace your, I don't want to say weirdness, but that's the best way I can think of it right now, right? Because the same Taryn, I want you to see the same Taryn and Malcolm that you see, the same Taryn you see at work is the same Taryn you see on the show,
Right.
you know, like, and so I think, you know, that's what you're talking about, right? Come on, talk to me nicely, let's giggle, let's laugh, let's kick it, let's have fun, let's show your talent, showcase your talent, because this will be a platform for people to show what they do and what they like to do, and potentially connect with other people that do what they do and like to do, whether it's surfing or
Mhm.
cooking or you know, making creative stuff. And you can do that, like you said, in many places, whether it's you can shoot in California, you can shoot in New Jersey, and there's people all over the world that can connect with talking to people nicely
It
and doing good.
it just gives you that feeling like you don't have to be in my studio to shoot a podcast. We could be in the car shooting an episode. We could be on the
Yeah.
moon. The moon is a possibility. So like I just wanna show people that if I can do it, so can you. And if you want to be a part of what I'm doing, the door is open. You know, Talk to Me Nice could always use more people. Past 12 could always use more people. We are a multimedia brand, so we're not limited to just a podcast or just creating music. We are opening arms to all types of creatives. And on top of that, we even have in-person events now too. We're having our first open mic of the year in March, and we're inviting singers and rappers to come perform on our open mic. So we're even providing platforms there as well.
What's the future hold for Talk to Me Nice or Past 12?
The future is bright. I Because the equipment just keeps getting upgraded. So when the equipment gets upgraded, that means that I could do more things. I don't know if Jason's still in here, but I presented him ideas and he has to figure out how to shoot it. So I was like, you know what, Jason, I kind of want to shoot an episode of us jumping out of a plane skydiving. Figure it out, and we're gonna do it like 3 or 4 times so we can get that shot right. But I
Okay.
think we're gonna upgrade the studio. We're gonna get a little bit more mobile. We're gonna take more trips just to be a little bit more organic.
Mhm.
We're gonna have more guests on to show us kind of what their craft is and just have a lot more fun. We're gonna do some dad joke style episodes. We're gonna do some just funny creative content episodes just to show our personalities more. I think that's one thing that our audience wants to see is our personality, our fun side more. And
Yeah.
I want to be exactly like I was when I was up on that stage. I want to be me. And like I said, I don't want to motivate. I don't want to inspire. I just want to be here to show you that I'm doing what you're trying to do. You're doing what I'm trying to do. Let's work together. Let's both make it to the top. And when we get to the top, then we can celebrate and look at all the stuff that got us here. And that's the goal. So the future's bright, especially for the summer, because living in New Jersey, and since you're in Chicago, right? Yeah, it's cold.
Yes.
It's cold. It's cold during the winter. So the summer opens up a lot more possibilities.
Yeah, I always say summertime Chicago though is like the best.
Hmm.
It's unbelievable. I mean, that's something you have to come here and shoot during the summertime.
Yeah, we were there
Unbelievable.
in the winter and never again.
Yeah. Yeah, no. No, 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 no. You got to come here in the summer and shoot something. It is unbelievable in the summer. I mean, I will say hands down, probably it's like if New York and LA had a
Hmm.
child, it would be Chicago.
That's
That's what I
that's
always
what I've
say.
been told. Summertime in Chicago is actually a lot better than winter because I was just turned off by the winter. I said it's cold outside. I don't really want to do anything.
Yeah, no, I say summertime in Chicago is like an experience. Is there anything, I know we kind of talked about like your obstacles. Is there anything maybe that advice you would give others that maybe want to step out and do, you know, even what you're doing or similar? Like I know there's one or two, you know, young men out there thinking to themselves, can I do
Hmm.
this? Right? What gave you the whatever, the to take the leap? What advice would you give them?
Some advice I would give them is just go for it. I think time is your best friend and your worst enemy. Like you have so much time in the world, but time flies so
Mhm.
quickly. So you really got to take advantage of the time that you have. And I say if you have I know it's cliche, but if you have a dream, just go after it. There's no point and waiting for it to come to you. If you have a dream to do something, you should do it. If you have the ability to shoot a podcast or record, I would say go for it, and just be okay with those first couple episodes that you put out, or that first couple pieces of content. They're gonna stink. You're not gonna like it, but you gotta be okay with that, and you definitely have to come out of your comfort zone. I would say, be okay with who you are, and be okay with who you are in front of a camera. Don't change yourself just because the camera's on. Don't change yourself, because that's who people are coming here to see. If you're not your authentic self in front of the camera, like you are when you're singing in the shower, or you're dancing when nobody's home, when you're vacuuming, like, then there's no point in doing it. I'm just saying. And you just got to go for it. It's 2024. Everybody's doing something creatively. Do something that you love, that you have a passion for, and I promise you, you will reap what you sow. I promise that. Everything that you look for will come to you if you're just consistent with it, if you're just doing everything that you can to chase after that dream. If you owe it to yourself. There's dreamers. What is it? There's what is the word? There's a nice quote that said there's dreamers and there's something, but dreamers always have their eyes closed, and my eyes are open. So definitely just chase after what you want, you know?
So, hi, Drew. Again, Johnny says, I think that you're the GOAT.
Yes,
I guess,
sir.
is that the GOAT?
Yes.
Tony, House of Mosaic says, great feedback. Don't let perfection freeze you. There's no such thing anyway. I love that, Tony.
Exactly.
Hello to Taylor. This is the Taryn Lamb Show, season 9, episode number 3. We have Malcolm online. We're about to finish up here, telling us about Talk to Me Nice, his podcast. If you haven't, make sure you're going to, I put the podcast, I tagged the podcast in my story. We're going to tag it again after this. So go follow his podcast, follow him and his podcast. What was I going to say? Oh, we're about to end. So Malcolm, so this, I don't know if I'm going to come on with this or not. So I don't know. The jury's still out, but most people on here, if they've watched me for any sort of time, know I have this little, I'm kind of like the crazy cat lady. I love cats. And I've been saving these 2 little cats in my backyard. So they might be on your podcast. And let me tell you something about these cats. You and I can post a video of us saving people from here to New Jersey. People will be like, sounds good, guys. When I post a video of these cats, I get thousands of views.
People love animals, that's for sure.
Thousands. So these cats and myself, they may be your podcast guest, and we may talk all about them.
Oh, of course.
It's just what I do. So following that up, this is our final question. They say curiosity, this doesn't work out so well for the cats. But what are you, and hello, Jordan, Tyra, hello, ladies. What are you curious about?
I'm curious about what goes on in people's heads, just because that's exactly why I ask some of the questions that I ask on my podcast. I'm curious as to what you're thinking right now. Like, I'm gonna come on the podcast and be like, you sleep in your socks, don't you? You sleep with socks on. I could see it. You sleep with socks on. I knew you slept with socks on just by the way that you're looking at me right now. And they're like, I don't sleep with socks on. Not me. And I'm just like, you know what? I got you. I got you. That's you coming out of your shell right there. That's you coming out of your shell. And I'm just, curiosity kills the cat. Yeah, but I'm not gonna pry. I'm not gonna do anything that's gonna get you uncomfortable. But I am going to ask those questions, and I am going to try to get you to be a little bit more comfortable with who you are and who you are on the show. So I'm curious as to what makes people think, what makes people laugh. I'm curious as to what these algorithms are on these internet, like what's pushing people out, what's keeping people in. I'm curious about where Talk to Me Nice is going to go, and I'm excited. can just say that. That's all I can say. It's gonna be a great season 3 coming up in, I want to say, July, and I can't wait. I'm excited.
Well, we're gonna have a great time because I want to tell you and Johnny, you know, one thing about socks and sleeping. I sleep with my socks on, but you know what else? In the middle of the night when I have a hot flash and menopause, guess what? Then we have a real big
Jail.
problem. So maybe we can talk about cats
Straight to
and
jail.
menopause.
Sleeps with socks on. Straight to jail.
But menopause, you guys have no idea. You guys have no So, we're gonna debate menopause and cats.
Socks in the bed. No. Big no.
We're gonna debate menopause and cats. Johnny and Malcolm, menopause and cats. That's what we're talking about because it is a whole new ball game. I really hope I have some women on there. I mean, that are watching because they're gonna understand my plight. It is a whole new situation in your whole world. Takes your whole world by storm when that starts happening to you. But I'm gonna let you guys go for now until the debate happens.
And just let me know.
The cats will be on the show. They'll be like the star of the show. It's crazy the way people love those cats. Let me see if I got everybody. I'm Jordan. I think I said hello to you, Tyra, Juan, Jason, Stephanie, I think Taylor, Drew.
Yeah. Shout out to all of y'all because without y'all,
is it Mathis?
Yeah, it's my friend.
Thank you everyone for joining me. Again, this is the Taryn Lamp Show. Malcolm and I are going to debate socks in the bed and
There's no debate. It's just no.
There is a debate because you don't go through menopause. You don't even know. It's like this hot cold situation that we go through. It's like no joke. It is like absolutely no joke. It is, you're cold 1 second, you're hot the next second. I give 2 flying forks about what people think about it all when you're going through menopause. As long as I'm not ripping your eyeballs out, you are on top. You're winning when you go through that. Okay. As long as you're not ripping somebody's eyeballs out, I'm not ripping their eyeballs out. We're winning. We're winning. I'm telling you. Thank you so much for joining me, you guys. And I'm pointing at you already. Like I got my pen out. I got it ready to go. I'm like, wait a minute. Thank you so much for joining me. This is the Taryn Lamp Show, season 9, episode number 3. Make sure you're liking, following, sharing, subscribing. I look forward to catching up with you again, Malcolm. Thank you so much. And everyone go follow Talk to Me Nice. And be good to yourself.
Thank you so much.
And each other.
Thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate it. But yeah, definitely go follow Talk to Me Nice. It's been your boy,
work on all that.
Mally, Kay. You already know the vibes.
I got to work on all this.
You just got to bring that energy.
And this. Maybe we can do that on the pod. Maybe we can do that on the podcast too. We have a lot to do. Yes. We have a lot to cover. Menopause, hand signs, and cats. Yes. Alrighty. Bye, baby.
Thank you.